and we will be talking about climate with Antonio Romero. And then at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, I think we will be talking about our program on how we are working with young innovators every year in very different countries. So please stay tuned, be curious, audience, raise questions, and check out our channels on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn to listen into these sessions. What do you think?
Remember something very important. Our hashtag is Destination 1.5. So use it, search the sessions, the information, the content using the hashtag Destination 1.5. But you know what, Christian? The program doesn't end here. This is day 5. And we still have the weekend. And during the weekend, we have a different format. We are doing it differently because you are going to be out there having your breakfast, chilling at home. So tomorrow, we are going to be having many different live sessions on Instagram, on the Climathon Instagram and Clima Accelerator and Innovators Instagram accounts, showcasing entrepreneurs.
Nice.
Many of the winners of the Climate Launchpad finals, and a lot of people in our community of the Climathon and what is happening. We're going to hear of what is happening out there in the world on the Climathon events. On Sunday is World Cities Day. Mm-hmm. And we are focusing on youth. On Sunday, we really want to go deeper into how we can activate young people around the world. And we have a very nice session on young innovators and what do we do with young people, with teenagers. So please stay tuned over the weekend. We are going to be with you throughout the whole weekend and hope that we can inspire you. I still have a very important question. Like, have you heard what Climathon is? Like, I really would like to hear what Climathon really is. If you are in doubt out there, this is the Climathon session, and let me bring you one guest that has a little bit more to say about Climathon.
My name is Bjarke Korsvang. I am the lead of Climathon. The Climathon is an ideathon. It's taking place in cities all around the world. It's engaging citizens, people like you and me, in solving the local city challenges, the challenges that we really need to solve. It's independently run by a group of local organizers who are at the heart of the program. Organizations such as NGOs, city councils, and citizen collectives. The Climathon was started in 2015. It's been growing ever since. And this year we hope to welcome more than 180 cities and several thousand participants. So we hope that you will join us this year.
The message is clear. Join us. Climathon is happening this year in over 180 cities from all over the world. And many of the Climathons are happening this week during the Week of Action. The last weekend and this weekend have an intense amount of Climathons happening. And I think that I found Bjarke. He escaped to a Climathon in Lund in Sweden. Bjarke, I found you. Are you there? Can you please come online with us?
Hey Sam, yes, we are here. We're here in Lund, and if you followed Instagram this morning, then maybe you already knew that I was in Lund because I actually uploaded the story there. And I must say that I feel like I'm actually not needed in Copenhagen anymore. It seems like you two are doing great, so maybe I won't come back. But I'm here in Lund. I'm here with Olaf from Climathon Lund, and all of you are the organizer of Climathon Lund. Can you just introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Olaf Blomqvist. I work at Lund University, basically handling our contacts with Climate Kick, the main organization organizing Climathon. So we have been running these Climathons, and I've been organizing them for a few years.
Yeah, I know you've actually organized for the last 4 years. Maybe last year was a difficult year.
Last year was difficult, yes.
But you have organized 4 times
4 times, yes. And actually 5 times, counting last year, because we had to cancel it. But still, I had to organize it. It was cancelled. My dean cancelled it just 1 week before launch.
Amazing. It's just so good to hear that that we're still bouncing back, even though we're facing difficulties. We can see that that's the resiliency of the Climathon community. So, so Olaf, I want to ask you just a little bit more about yourself before diving into the Climathon that's happening here in Lund and the really exciting agenda that you planned today. But what's your why did you get involved in climate action?
Well, for me, it's work. I would say that I'm very fortunate, in my opinion, to be able to work with things I'm also passionate about. But I mean, I am a professional. It is my work. It is my job. I do get paid for organizing Climathon. And I consider myself very fortunate about this. We all know the severity of climate change, and being able to do some little things about it on your office time. I think that's a great privilege.
Definitely. And it sounds like a great job, but a job that I think we all want to have, where we're actually doing something that we feel is both necessary, but also is good for the planet and for the people around us. And how did you get involved in all of this? How did you decide, okay, climate change is something I want to fight?
It's a good question. I think it comes from education in my case. I've always been interested in question regarding how we run our society, politics, if you like it, but maybe more on how things are done. But I wasn't particularly into climate change previously. I enrolled in a master's program here at Lund University back in 2008. That was on sustainability and environment. And from that, it has grown, I must say.
Amazing. And it's just good, again, to see that we have people like you who are really so passionate and are bringing Climathon to their own city to really do something about some of the city challenges here. And speaking of city challenges, what is actually the main topic for the Climathon in Lund?
Yeah, the main topic this year, we put it as sustainable, shared, and attractive personnel transports, passenger transports. And this goes to it's like public transport, but we want to have it a little bit wider, also to include other types of solutions that is not necessarily traditional public transport.
And is that a big challenge for the city of Lund? This about how people are moving around, and I think we've heard it in a few other Climathons, but what are the specific challenges here?
The specific Lund challenge, we actually have 4 challenges. We have a specific Lund challenge on a new development area. It's a large area that's being developed. It will be 40,000 people and workplaces. So 40,000 people moving in and out of the neighborhood each day. It's being built right now. And the municipality has a goal for that area that not more than 1/3 of these 40,000 people will travel to and from the area with car. So 1/3 is, that's the goal. So that's one of the challenges then, to make sure that the municipality actually reaches this goal.
Really interesting, and actually, you got me engaged, so that's also why I'm in Lund today. You got me engaged as one of the jury members, so I will actually be be part of deciding, not only me, but I'll be part of deciding who is the winner. So if you're watching out there and you are participating in Lund, I will be tough but fair, and I'm looking forward to all your ideas. But Oluf, speaking of the Climathon and these ideas that we're gonna crown a winner tonight, what has the atmosphere been like? You started this Monday, and how's the atmosphere, the energy been?
Yeah, now we've been running all nights, all afternoon and nights this week from 4 to 9, 10 in the evening. And it's been a great atmosphere actually. Tuesday, round 4, I was so afraid because we've been running this 24-hour format previously every year. This time we just send them home on Monday evening. Tuesday, I was so scared no one would come back. I would be here by myself. Maybe 1 or 2 participants coming in, and where's everybody?
Yeah.
There would be like 50 boxes of food waiting for them. But actually, no, everybody came back. Everybody has been here for all of the days. And it's been a very good spirit. Some years we had a little bit of the competition. Some teams that are very eager to win the challenges. And of course, there's a competition piece in the Climathon as well, as you will be the judge, one of the judges. but I think the main thing with the Climathon is developing things together, not the competition. And we had that kind of spirit for this Climathon, I think.
Amazing, and that's actually a really, really good point. That is one of the main focuses of the Climathon, is really that we're developing things together. Because again, if we just think about our own ideas and what the way we view the world, then we're not gonna achieve the 1.5. So we really need to work together and also listen to what other people's ideas are. So I think that's a really, really good point. So can I ask, how did you find Climathon back in the day? How did you become involved in this movement?
Yeah. No, actually, already in 2016 there was a Climathon in Malmö, which is kind of our neighboring city. So we were that was our great inspiration actually. When we ran the first Climathon in 2017, which was the same year that Malmö ran the last one. So far. But no, we were very inspired by this and thought we should try it out.
Yeah. And what was it exactly that got you interested in this movement?
Doing something for the students at the university. I think that was the most important thing. We have been arranging the Journey Summer School with Climathon previously, and doing something that we could offer for all of the students that wanted to participate. And with a similar content, although the journey is, of course, that's 5 weeks, or were 5 weeks at that point of time, and the Climathon was only 24 hours, very condensed form of.
It's definitely another way of organizing when you have 24 hours versus 5 weeks. And like you mentioned, the journey is one of EIT Climate Kick's other programs that you can also hear more about this afternoon. So Oluf, what's the most fun part about being a Climathon local organizer? Also, if there's someone sitting out there watching and they think, oh, it sounds like a lot of work, but it also sounds fun. So what's the most?
That's a good question. I think actually I would say the interaction with the participants, of course, and the feedback from the participants, because usually we get very good feedback. We send out a form afterwards, and we had feedback like, I never had so good food in my life.
Amazing.
That makes you happy.
Yeah, definitely. So
even if I didn't cook, it makes me happy.
That's amazing. And again, it's also about, I think, what you mentioned there is also about the atmosphere and the energy that I've also experienced when I'm at a Climathon, that actually there are so many people that are so passionate about that, and they even the food, as you're mentioning, if they can actually see that you're serving. I know tonight we're going to have a vegetarian buffet, so again also practice what we preach, and really show them that this that we do this 110% and not only 90%. So I think that's really inspiring to people. Speaking of that, what's the most challenging, when you're organizing the Climathon?
It's a lot of work, I must say. It's a lot of work. I think that connecting to partners is challenging. The entire marketing thing, making sure that you actually have participants at the Climathon. We never know before. We send out a message. We have different types of channels in communicating this, but there's no way for us to know if there will be participants. So that's, for me, that's something that keeps me awake at night during the months before Climathon.
Yeah. But it seems like you're doing a good job. You just told me how many participants do you have?
I think 52.
52.
A little bit over 50 participants this year.
I think that's really inspiring that you're putting together such a big. Also, just coming out of COVID, I know people are still a bit hesitant whether or not they should join, because your Climathon is also in person, so people actually meeting each other here in person, and we'll be doing it tonight as well. So just how did you manage and plan the Climathon this year?
We had a very good cooperation with the University Center for Public Transport Research. So they work very close with a lot of the public transport operators and organizers around Sweden, which means that we had basically instantly a very good partner network. So this goes where we have not only the local traffic in Lund and Skåne region as partners, but also the traffic organizers from western part of Sweden, Gothenburg, the second largest city in Sweden, and the area around, and also from Stockholm, actually, the organizers from Stockholm. And we have Nobina, the largest operator of trains and buses in Sweden, as a partner as well.
Amazing. And so would you say that having a good partner network on board is key to success for Climathon?
It's a good thing, I think. Yeah. Because then we have also we always bring in people from these networks as we call them experts. I know they're also called mentors in some Climathons. We call them experts, but they come in and they will go around, talk to the teams, help them out with their challenges. Yeah. Because they're the people that actually know how it works, what is possible, what is not possible. Sometimes we have to go afterwards and say, yeah, they say it's impossible, but please go with the idea. Yeah. It's it's if you only do what's possible, we won't reach anything.
Definitely. I think again a very, very good point. I think that before I joined Climate Kick, that was actually I joined or I was part of a Climathon where I met with some of the participants, and just the mere fact that they were actually able to think outside of the box and not think, like you said, what is possible, but actually think about what should we be able to do. It was so inspiring to me. So that's actually how I got involved in this. So I think again, very, very good point. That's also what the platform that Climathon can be. So speaking of really good ideas, I know you mentioned just before we went live here that there are actually some of the ideas that are coming out of Climathon in Lund that are actually still going. So maybe you can talk about
we do have one project that's still running very well and growing. It's called Circle Center. It's a kind of it's a kind of a library of things that. Well, the thought was when they presented it here at Climathon in Lund 2018, they created the idea here, set the initial team here, and presented the idea. And that was then a library of things that when you come here as an exchange student, especially to Lund, you basically bring what you can bring on the plane, which is very little things. But still, you may want to go play tennis on the weekend, whatever. And then you wouldn't like to buy a new tennis racket.
No.
And then you can go there. You can lend a tennis racket. You can lend furniture, anything basically from them. Most of the things are for free. Some are charged. I'm not really sure about the pricing, but and the thing is that this was in 2018. Yeah. The team that was presenting this idea was exchange students. So they started up the operations. They were growing it, but then they went home, of course, because they were exchange students.
Of course.
But there's a new team that has taken over, and they have grown it actually even more. So it's quite well known among students in Lund.
That's really interesting to hear. Also, how this idea were developed at a Climathon. Then the team actually continued and implemented the idea, and now they passed it on to someone else who's now running it and scaling it up. It's just amazing to see how that works, and how that when you have a great idea, then people want to get involved. I think that's the key message there.
Also an open team, I think.
Yeah,
it's also important, and that's kind of one thing that we working on at Climathon.
Yeah,
being open to new ideas, being open to new people.
Yeah, I think very, very good point. Olof, you, as I mentioned before, you have organized 5 times. So do you have any advice to someone out there who might be, thinking, okay, you said it was a lot of work, but it also seems like a lot of fun. And on the other hand, you also get really great ideas that are still running to, like, they're actually implemented today. Do you have any good advice for anyone of the viewers that they could take if they want to organize a Climathon?
Start early. That's number one. Start before summer. That's my advice. Get some partners on board even before summer. Set up some basic idea what you want to do at Climathon. Maybe a topic, maybe which direction you want to go in. And set that up already before summer. After summer, you have to start working directly.
Yeah.
So that's my advice, basically.
Yeah.
And go for it, of course.
Yes.
You should do it.
I think that's a great advice. And again, also just it might be 24 hours, it might be like you've done now a week, but again, it's you really need to plan these things, and then you also get the benefit of it if you plan it right. Olof, is there any way where we can follow the Climathon in Lund? Do you have accounts there where we can kind of see, okay, what's going to happen maybe also tonight? And
we will actually be sending the presentations tonight on Zoom.
Okay.
So if you Google, it's actually not on at the moment at least, on the Climathon webpage.
No.
But it's on our Facebook, and it's I put a LinkedIn message also that's tagged Climathon.
Perfect.
So you will be able to find the link if you look around.
Yeah, and we can definitely also share it on our channel.
Yeah.
And actually, on top of that, I will also be going live on Instagram, or I will be sharing stories and videos from the final, so people can follow the Climathon Instagram page as well, and see what's going on here in Lund. See one of the almost 200 Climathons this year. We have 195, and we're actually still seeing some people applying to become part of the Climathon community, the Climathon movement. So if you're sitting out there and you're like, hey, we're actually having an upcoming event which sounds very much like Climathon, but we want to be connected to the Climathon movement, there's actually still a possibility to register and be part of it, because Climathons are taking place throughout the year. So so that's just a little public message, to a public announcement to everyone out there, if you are. But again, I think you need to have planned it to be able to sign up by now.
I think it depends also on who you are. I mean,
That's
some
true.
people, they put together amazing events in just a few days.
That is true.
I'm not that person.
And again, that just goes to show the kind of differences that we have in the Climathon community, right? That there are different people. So that's also one of the things that you're actually getting out there if you're part of Climathon, is actually that you will be introduced to all these different people who can help you. And like Olof said, we are different. So there might be there's definitely someone for you if you want some input in terms of the way you want to run your event. With that, I just want to say thank you so much, Olof, for welcoming me here in Lund.
Thank you.
And thank you for the time. This is actually also the first time we meet in person, which is again really post-COVID. It's amazing to meet people in person now. And please do tune in to our Instagram account. I'll also be talking to a few people from the city of Lund at 11 Central European Standard Time on Instagram, so you can tune in there. And obviously we will continue with an interview with one of the organizers in South America, just a few minutes here. But first, we have a small video from one of the teams that took part in a Climathon. I think it was back in 2017 or 18. In Reykjavik in Iceland, and they came up with a really, really interesting idea about how to help restaurants measure how much food they should buy so they don't throw out too much food. I think that's really, really interesting. As a person who like to eat a lot when I go out, I still think it's important that we think about how much food are we throwing away. So they actually came up with this, and they're still running. They implemented it. They got a lot of help from the city of Reykjavik, and they've really grown. So we're gonna hear from them with their video in just a few minutes. So thank you so much for watching this, and thank you, Olof.
Thank you, Bjarke.
Hello, my name is Vanetta. I am the CEO and one of the co-founders of Green Bites. And Green Bites is a green tech startup that helps restaurants and other food retailers reduce their food waste. I participated in the Reykjavik Climathon in 2018. We were focusing on food waste reduction, on sustainable tourism, and on the circular economy. My Climathon experience was really great. I was really impressed with the organization and the education provided, all in such a short amount of time. The main organizer, Justine Valhulst, brought in a bunch of representatives from the government, from different companies, to talk to us about sustainability, about goals, about future regulations, and also about solutions that have been implemented and what the effects are of different innovations for sustainability. And beyond the education, there was a lot of icebreakers to get us to talk to one another and kind of communicate on different ways that we relate to sustainability and what our personal goals are for achieving change for the climate. And then we also had like fun activities to just kind of like give the brain a break, because after a couple hours of just thinking about solutions and being up pretty late, it can be a little intense. So there was also like team building, like we went and did some stuff with some clay, and we did like exercise outside in the cold. So that was really cool. And just overall, I think the hackathon experience was really good, because when you put yourself in a position where you're not sleeping for 24 hours, your mind is a little more free, and it has the capacity to be more creative and kind of like let go of some of the inhibitions and put ideas out there that maybe you wouldn't if you were completely in the right mind. it's something that affects everything. Climate change affects everyone, and it will continue to affect us, especially if we don't aggressively do things about it. And my advice is that all skill sets, any and all skill sets, can be applied to furthering the positive climate agenda. If you have a background in science, if you have a background in law, if you have a background in art, like every single skill, whatever you're good at, whatever you enjoy doing, can be funneled and can be used in such a way that it can be beneficial for the planet. We can use it for education. We can use it to promote positive legislation. We can use it to implement new technologies. Like every single skill, whatever, like if you think, oh, I can't do this because I don't know how to do X, Y, Z, it's not true. Whatever skill you have, there is a place for you to build a better and brighter future. So I would just say to get involved, and there's so many ways to do so. You can join a big company, you can start your own company, and anything in between. So I would just say to get involved and see what's out there. And if you don't like the things that are being done, you can do it in a different way, and you can do it with the skill sets and the things that you bring to the table.
Welcome back to the studio. This was really inspiring to hear a tangible solution to avoid food waste in restaurants. I hope Reykjavik implements it all over the place in the city. Today, the theme is food. During the Week of Action, every day we have been tackling a specific climate challenge, and today is about food. And it's not only about food waste, but how do we make our food systems more sustainable? In that topic, we would like to share with you different solutions, ideas throughout the day on how you can make an impact, how you can get inspired by others, and how you can share the solutions, services, and products produced by others. But today also in the studio, on part 2 of the Climathon session, we have a very special guest. In our community, a community member, Circular Influence, that is doing a lot to empower others to take climate action. And in the studio, we have Clara today. Welcome, Clara. How are you today?
Inviting us here. I'm really glad that we can talk about what we do in Latin America and Europe as well. And thank you so much.
Clara, tell us, who are you part of? Who do you work with?
Okay, so of course I'm here on behalf of Circular Influence, as you have mentioned. We are an NGO, and we're seeking to develop sustainable solutions to create positive climate action, as everybody here today and this week. We are partners and members of the Climate Tech, obviously, and we are bringing for the first time this year young innovators on top of all the other programs. So we're also involved with Climathon, Climate Launchpad, and also the Digital Education Hack. So there is a lot of things that we're doing currently. This is a very busy week for us, but thanks to our community and the ecosystem that we have, that is very hardworking, very international. We were all over the place, and we've been managing, and we're getting there.
You're doing a great job at activating all sorts of communities, from entrepreneurs to citizens to young people, teenagers with the Young Innovators Program, and teachers. I would like to know a little bit about the community that you have, that you work with. Who are they? Where are they?
Well, actually, our community is pretty diverse. We're all over the place. We're very international. So our operations are, part of it is obviously Latin America. So that is Argentina and Uruguay for young innovators. We also implement in Peru some other programs. But then we also have synergies with Europe. And that's not a coincidence. That was our mission from the very beginning. We wanted to create a dialogue and a discussion, collaboration, between different continents, especially Latin America and Europe. So we also work with Italy and Spain and Portugal, Switzerland, so in other programs. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And our community, as you've already mentioned, We have researchers, we are involved with partners who are obviously in the governmental sector, then we have partners who are actually on field to do with, for example, sustainable mobility, and they are creating new solutions. And we have all these startups that we are all sharing on our platform and where we're collaborating. And obviously with Young Innovators now, we also have the youth, and it's very exciting because we see a new aspect, and it reminds us of what the bright future could be. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about Young Innovators and Young Climathon. I hear that there is a Young Climathon happening these days. What is happening out there? Tell us.
So Young Climathon is starting actually in a couple of hours here. We are going to be hearing pitches from multiple teams from, as I mentioned, Argentina and Uruguay. And I have to say, it's actually very exciting because our whole team, we have been really surprised by the dedication that these young kids have come up with. I mean, they're not kids, they're between 15 and 18 years old, but they have actually reached out and they really wanted to get involved. Some of them are not even having this as a part of their curricula. They do this as an extracurricular activity. So I think that our whole team in Circular Influence can say that we didn't expect this enthusiasm for it. And we're really happy that we could guide them and that we could train the teachers in the first stages where we were bringing all these different courses. We were bringing courses and trainings in sustainable mobility, as I have mentioned. We did systems and innovation thinking. We did seminars on climate change and design and the preparations for the pitching. Sustainable agriculture is a big topic of ours as well. So we gave out all we could. We provided the structures, and we just saw how the teachers collaborated with us, and they involved their students, and they brought this framework to their schools. And now we actually see pitches of these students building cars. It's incredible. I know that everyone in Circular Influence, when we were seeing the pitches and when we saw the solutions, we were actually astonished by, for example, the use of tangerine peels. These students use tangerine peels or peanut shells or honey to build sustainable cars. I think it's incredible to see that from such a young age, they are already thinking so innovatively, and they are, it's already in their head, and it's just the beginning of the movement, I think.
That's amazing. And I mean, they are the future. They are the future generation. They are the future of our planet. So it is actually super important that we let them think how they want to solve climate challenges in their own way of thinking, their own creations. So tell us about what is going to happen today. How does the program look like? What do you do with these young people?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we already have had months of trainings and everything, all these webinars. And today is the final day when all these groups or these teams, small startups, young startups, are going to be pitching during our ceremonies. So they have their pitches ready. They have all the criteria matching. We're hoping we're going to be selecting the best ones. But our program is actually pretty full. It's very busy. We have a couple of guest speakers, keynote speakers, so that the students actually know that they're part of a very wide community, that they're not on their own, and that even together with Climate Kick, it's not only limited to Latin America or their countries. This is a global movement. So we're trying to really involve all these different people from different sectors, from different backgrounds, so that they see where the future is, And so we have all these different keynote speakers. We have different exciting awards such as scholarships, and maybe there's a couple of Circular Influences providing entry to different events, different courses. So we really want to encourage the students that not only do they get to know what they have gotten to know during this program, but they can move further. And at Circular Influence, because we're doing the other programs as well, I know, because that is our mission. Our mission is that we want to basically launch them into the other programs as well that are for people who are over the age of 18. So right after they are done with Young Innovators, it's not the end. We are trying to create a cycle or a circular, motion with these programs. We want sustainable solutions to be going further and further and develop into a really viable, sustainable business. So that's what we're trying to do at Circular Influence. And that's, that I've really gone off the topic. It's just so exciting. But yeah, today we're going to have the pitches and then the ceremony, and we're going to pick the best teams. I'm really excited to see which one goes to the finals and who actually wins. We have also public choice awards, so we'll see what the public thinks, who is their winner, and we'll have the winner, and that'll be it for today. And we'll just be happy and excited to see where they go with us further.
Sounds super exciting, and a very, very busy day and weeks, perhaps also the days ahead. I would like to deep dive a little bit into all the activities that you are doing and why you are doing them. I mean, in the morning we have been talking about how we are working with our strong partner community to plant seeds of action in many ecosystems in the world, and we have reached Argentina and Uruguay. It is amazing to see all the activities that you are doing. I would like to hear what's your opinion about what kind of climate impact, climate change behaviors you are expecting to see in Argentina and Uruguay by engaging with young people. Why do you do this at all?
I mean, why do we do this? Because we believe that this is needed. We see that as all over the world, but in Latin America, there is a lot of issues, a lot of problems that we still have to overcome. There is, for example, there's big problems with agriculture. Obviously, Argentina is the industry the economics is very, very much dependent on agriculture. So we're trying to show people, and by showing the students that it doesn't have to be done the way that it has been done traditionally, that there's different ways of farming and harvesting, for example. So that would be one sector that we focus on. But we see that all around us, waste management has been also a big challenge to us. Water resources, as everywhere around the world, but because Latin America is so diverse, there is so much biodiversity, there's a lot of raw materials and resources. It's actually a lot of potential. And people are very innovative. As I have mentioned with these students, they really come up with super interesting things, and Circular Influence is just really happy to be collaborating, co-creating it, because we have a platform of so many people that have been involved in our programs. So we see how they collaborate and they come up with solutions and everything. So we see that there is the movement. And obviously with the current circumstances, for example, with Young Innovators, it wasn't easy to show teachers that actually systems thinking and these frameworks are worth the implementation, that they are worthwhile. So our foot is really in the door. We really have put ourselves out there, and we really have reached out, and we've had great responses. But that doesn't mean that's, as everything, that's not it. We really want to go much further. We want to go to other countries and to really expand and, just spread our mission and vision further, because we see that it's working. We see that we have been doing it well, that we know how to do it, that we have the structures for it and everything. So we just want to make use of it and just get more people involved.
Yeah, and this week, actually, the past 2 days, we have been talking to teachers directly from Spain and from Germany. So I want you to tell us your secret. How do you manage to engage with teachers? Because we know that they are busy, that they are doing a super important work for society, but they tell us that it's hard to make the time to implement these climate activities, to bring them to the school. So what is your secret? How did you manage with young innovators?
I wouldn't say we have a secret. I think that it's actually a lot of work. We, as already has been mentioned in the previous interview for Sweden, we also were trying to reach out so much to social media and to other platforms. We really worked hard on developing good websites so that it's really accessible and easy for anyone who gets just a glimpse of anything, or here's our name, or maybe the program, that they can just really easily come to us and reach us, trying to get involved in radio interviews and things like that to get the name of the program and of circular influence across, and so that educators are aware of this option. And then we really accommodate to them as well. As I said, our operations are quite international. There's different time zones and everything. We work pretty hard till late sometimes just to make sure that our trainings are going well, just that to make sure that the teachers are being responded on the platform, and that they have all the materials that we want to provide and they have them accessible. So I think it's more of a question of how easy can you make it so that they are not, as I said, they're not overloaded, as you all also mentioned, so that it's not like another chore on top of their curricula or their work, so that they just can implement it and it just easily gets into their daily life, into the education. And I think the ones that have engaged, they see that it's so, in a way, it's so innovative and different, but it's really reaching a great potential. The students, you can see the enthusiasm, you see that really are, I mean, who gets to build a car in their curricula and while learning about agriculture and receiving all this training and sustainable mobility. I think if I had that in school, I would have gotten involved, but I didn't know about this, and that's why we need. But I'm happy to be now part of Circular Influence, that we're spreading this, so we can just do more in the future, more countries, more schools.
Yes, I wish I had that in high school back in the time in Mexico. But now I'm learning so much more from all the ideas that come through the program, to the Climathon, to the young innovators, pioneers, and climate accelerator programs. And Climate Launchpad, today we have the grand finals. So to wrap up, could you please tell us a message that you have for young people out there, for perhaps other organizations you work with, even for teachers? How would you like them to take part in your activities, in our activities, and to join the partnership and the community? Do you have a key message for them?
Don't hesitate. That's basically it, I think, because it may seem that there is a lot involved and it's really hard work and hard to register, or hard to be involved in a hackathon for 20 hours or something. But I would say don't hesitate and really reach out. Even just if you try, you don't have to, if you don't want to do the whole program, or if you don't want, or of course you would, I want you to try, but if just really don't hesitate. I think that's my message, because I think it seems much more than it is, and you actually get so much provided by us, and the framework is there, everything. It's just you to learn more, and it's really accessible. So I would say don't hesitate.
Thank you so much, Clara. How can they get in touch with you as a last message?
So we have a really new website, circularinfluence.org, so you can definitely check us out there. But we're really involved in our social media as well. On Instagram, if you just search for Circular Influence, you will find us straight away. And also Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. We're everywhere. So Circular Influence, and I'm sure you'll find us.
Perfect. And check our chat. I am sure we are putting your links out there. And our conversation isn't over, Clara. We hope to follow your journey as Circular Influence, and we hope to follow the journey of all the participants of the Climate Launchpad, the Young Innovators, and the Climathons that you are organizing, because these are really the ideas that we are celebrating during the Week of Action this week, the whole week until Sunday. we are celebrating the action of people from all over the world and how they are, you know, taking shape. What are they doing from an idea to a startup? We are here to recognize you, and this is 1 week before the UN Climate Change Conference starting next week, and we want to show the world that everything is possible, that we still have time to revert the impacts of climate change. Thank you so much, Clara, for joining us today. And I look forward to keep connecting with you in the next weeks and months to come to hear how these ideas are taking shape in Latin America. Thank you, Clara, and Circular Influence.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be here.
For everyone out there watching, remember that our hashtag is Destination 1.5 and that we keep the program going. Next, our Clima Accelerator program and the talking about how do we measure climate impact. Super interested. Stay tuned. Later, we have an interview with young innovators and then other interviews with the startups. And during the weekend, tomorrow, Instagram, whole day, live interviews. And we are back on the studio on Sunday with a very interesting panel on how we transform the education system. So stay with us. Don't miss the interviews with Clima Accelerator at noon. And stay tuned on our channels. Goodbye.